want you to do? I want you to repent. Read the game plan of salvation. Go home. Get your heart right with God. See, you know, the issue is we really don't have to talk politics. We really don't have to talk politics of one party versus another party. Really, all you have to do is get your heart right with God. Get your heart right with a holy and righteous God, and your politics will follow. See, I don't know. Go ahead. By all means, go. You know,
go feed an orphan.
Well, unfortunately, all these abortion people kill the things. There's so few orphans. There's fewer and fewer orphans now because the women are killing. Go ahead. What are you doing? Go ahead and do it. See, there's fewer and fewer orphans even available to help out because these women are murdering them all in abortion before they have a chance. I had a guy last night who tried to defend abortion by saying, well, if that kid was going to be in poverty, if that kid was going to be raised by a poor mother, then it would be better off to have an abortion. Seriously? Is that the moral case? Is that the moral case you want to make for abortion? That the child is better off dead than poor? Are you saying that a child is better off dead than poor? I told the guy last night, hey, you know, there were cops standing by. I said, hey, police officer, if you find any slaughtered homeless people out there tonight, then it was probably going to be that guy because he thinks it's better for people to be dead than poor. See, that's what happens when you justify abortion by saying, well, we would hate to have that child raised up poor. If you think it's better to be dead than poor, that's your moral ground to stand on, then why don't you just nuke Haiti? Well, you know, I've been to Haiti on mission trips, and the average person in Haiti, our poorest person in America looks like a millionaire compared to the average Haitian. So if you think people are better off to be poor, better off to be dead than poor, then by your knowledge, by your justification, why don't you just nuke the island of Haiti and do away with all the poor people there? So
I'm sorry, what?
I'm saying that a guy last night said abortion was okay if the baby was going to be raised into a poor household. He's actually making the case that it was better to have an abortion and kill the kid than have it be raised poor. I've been poor in my life. When I was in college, I hardly had any money to scratch together at all when I was in college. I didn't want somebody to come by and kill me just because I was poor. I've been to Haiti, and those people know poverty more than the average American does, and those people don't want someone to come and slaughter them. I'm illustrating absurdity by being absurd. So if somebody thinks abortion is okay because the child might be raised poor, then by that definition, we should kill all the homeless and kill all the poor people. Let's have people bring their W-2s in. Let's have people bring in their bank account statement and see if they're worthy to live or not by that justification. Yes?
So I have a request. Since you believe that we should be educating small children about orgasms, will you come in on Monday morning and teach my students what orgasms?
No, I want them to be taught about abortion.
Then why are you talking about orgasms?
Because I want people to know that's what the pro-abortion people value over the life of a human being. That's what people value over the life of a human being. It's wicked. It's shameful. Any other questions? Any other questions?
He said the mother should die during birth.
Repeat what? No, I'm taking the question.
He also just told me that he's yelling about.
All right, he asked, what is my opinion on abortion? What? We've been just going over that for an entire half hour. Abortion is the slaughtering of an innocent human being. There is no justification for it under any circumstance to slaughter a living human being just because someone finds them inconvenient. Listen up, if there's any elderly people out there, beware. I want the elderly to beware because once the abortion crowd gets done with all the abortions, the elderly are next. See, abortion, that guy's okay with murdering off elderly too. Yeah, you'll be there one day. You're no longer a baby, but you'll be elderly one day if you live that long, if God gives you grace. So the elderly will be next. You know, these bloodthirsty abortionists, these bloodthirsty pro-abortion people, they kill off the baby because they find the baby to be inconvenient. The baby is going to be a drag on their lifestyle. It's going to be an inconvenience into the plans that they had for their future. So they kill it off because it'll be an inconvenience to them. Well, the elderly will probably be next then. Once you see mom draining her bank account, once you see mom selling off her house and you wanted all that money, there's going to be a bunch of people that see the assisted living place draining mom's bank account too fast. Let's do away with the elderly. Hey, we did away with the baby. It was an inconvenience. Nobody seemed to mind. Why not do away with the elderly next? They're a drain on society. Yes.
So what if an abortion is medically necessary for the mother?
We've already gone over that. During the Reagan, if you have ears to hear, during the Reagan administration, Ronald Reagan.
Care about Reagan. This is President.
Yeah, I'm answering your question. Ronald Reagan had a Surgeon General who had spent decades as an OBGYN, and his name was C. Everett Koop. And C. Everett Koop said in all of his decades of practice as an OBGYN, he knew of not one single instance where the mother's life couldn't be saved by having a simple C-section. C-sections are done all the time. The mother lives, the baby lives. So have a C-section. And whatever happened, I don't have an issue with a mom sacrificing her life for the life of her child. I'd sacrifice my life for my children. Whatever happened to the philosophy of a mother or a father saying, I will sacrifice my life so that my baby would live. I think that's honorable. I think that's great. No, I'm not interested in your story. We're preaching out here. We've got too many people that need saving. We're here in the Bible Belt of America. There's an empty corner over there. Go tell your story over there. You may ask a question. Yeah, I'm a benevolent dictator. Yes, I am a benevolent dictator here during my session. I don't even have to take questions. I'm not even required to take questions. I'm not required to take questions. I think I need to go back to the preaching. Actually, it's been a long time, and Steve hasn't gotten to preach in a long time. I'll take one more question, and then St. Steve is going to preach. We got to get back to the gospel. One last question. Make it good.
Do you believe that being part of the maybe this guy will actually let us
She asked, do I believe that being a part of the LGBTQ crowd is a sin? Most definitely. It is wicked. God calls homosexuality an abomination and a vile affection. If you know someone who is living in a sodomite lifestyle, inform them that the anus is an exit, not an entrance. It is one of the most unhealthy and medically destructive lifestyles you can possibly live. But there's one STD that homosexuals get that can't be cured with penicillin or drugs, and that's sexually transmitted damnation. See, homosexuals and fornicators and adulterers, they all have an STD that no medicine will fix, and that's called sexually transmitted damnation. So no. If you've had sex outside of marriage, you have, yes, sexually transmitted damnation. That's STD, sexually transmitted damnation. So yes, God destroyed the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah with fire and brimstone. And the Apostle Peter even tells us why God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah with fire and brimstone, so that future generations would have an example to look at of what God has planned for those who live wicked and ungodly lifestyles. See, there's too many people that, when you go to a pride event, they look at Sodom and Gomorrah as a role model. See, Sodom and Gomorrah is supposed to be an object lesson of how not to live your life to be right with God. And at pride events, they treat Sodom and Gomorrah like a role model, like hey, let's take lessons from them. So, all right, well, I'm going to turn it over to St. Steve, and he's going to tell you about the gospel.
Yes, Steve!